swimming the forbidden zone. They were captured by the shrewdness of apes. But what the hell is the shrewdness of apes? And why is Taylor wearing a man frock and saying city looks like Fraggle Rock? Did the Chambers, did the Insulin, Mr. Spock? These are just the facts we try not to mock on. The minute of the apes. 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 Yeah!
Hello, and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes movies 1 minute at a time. I'm your host, Todd, and with me I have my co-hosts, Richard and Sean.
Hello.
Hey.
So, we're going to start like we do every start of the week by saying thank you right up front to the Star Wars Minute guys. These guys really got the ball rolling by getting behind Star Wars, breaking it down, and kind of creating a fandom that wasn't there before. So if you haven't checked them out already, go spend time with it. If you're a Star Wars fan like me, you can't miss it. It is truly great podcasting.
They've done what, 4, 5, 6, 1, and 2 at this point?
Yeah, and now I'm like,
They got
I didn't think I'd ever clamor to hear anything about Revenge of the Sith, but I'm like, come on, break it down. So you guys, when you're ready, put it out there.
Yeah.
The housekeeping for the week also, I'll say right up front, we're out there on every podcasting service. If you're listening to this through Twitter or Facebook, please go find us on your favorite podcasting service. If you have a favorite podcasting service that's not there, come to us at minuteoftheapes.com. Let us know what you want. Let us know where we need to be so you can find us. Let your friends know about us. Subscribe to us. Rate us. We appreciate the support.
If they're listening to it, doesn't that mean they've already found us?
No, because you can listen on YouTube. You can
that's
listen on
true.
SoundCloud. You can listen on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay.
So there's Sean.
And our website.
And our website.
Yeah.
So, is there any other housekeeping that I'm missing for the start of the week? Happy
Good.
Monday, boys.
Yes. It's the middle of December.
That's right. It's the middle of December as we...
Christmas is rapidly approaching.
Once again, we're on the ANSA spaceship that's taking us into the future.
Mm-hmm.
I won't even get into the fact that it's actually kind of creepy Halloween time, and I have a Stranger Things poster looking at me right in the face in Zeus Comics. Anyway,
Okay.
let's jump into it. We are beginning minute 50 through 51. This begins as Cornelius looking at a paper airplane, and it ends with Zira asking Taylor, "How do you account for me?" And Sean, I know you've got your count.
We've got 2 living humans, 2 dead humans, a shrewdness of apes, and a gaggle of humanoids.
Gaggle. So,
Cornelius really lost interest in that paper airplane as soon as Taylor asked for a map. He holding it, and just dropped it.
well, you are speaking his language at that point.
Because he does. I still don't understand how he's saying, flight is a theory, it's not real, but then he sees a paper airplane fly and he's shocked by it, but then instantly loses.
Shouldn't he have said something along the idea of ape flying? Because back before the Wright brothers, they would say
Bird,
man
yeah.
flying. Because flight's not an impossibility. If you know the term flight, you know the concept of flight, it is a possibility because birds can do it.
I mean, didn't we have hot air balloons before airplanes? I mean, we were flying. It was.
I guess the Planet of the Apes don't have hot air balloons. I can't imagine a monkey blowing up a balloon.
They can make guns. They can bridle horses. They can build prisons. But hot air balloons.
True. Go ahead.
It was a really long shot from Taylor throwing the paper airplane to Cornelius picking it up to him dropping it to going over and picking up the map. That was all one shot. Today, that'd been 9 different shots.
Oh, absolutely. We would have a shot of the airplane flying, but I actually have to stop and say this minute was ruined for me by Richard. Because now I can't do anything but see Taylor's nipples. The moment that he came on, I looked and here was that lovely jumper that he's made for himself. And there are 2 man nipples.
It's just hanging out. It's hanging out. We spend this entire scene with it just kind of hanging out,
Once again, why does he even try to drape it over himself?
I know,
It's not draped. It's just like it's
caveman style.
Exactly.
It literally is almost kind of accentuating them.
It is.
Let's put Charlton's breast right up front of the
Slightly
frame.
baby oil greased chest.
Gross.
His beautifully tan arm.
Yeah. His weird teeth.
Something that hit me right in there, too. So we have Cornelius taking that paper airplane and, like you said, discounting it pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But did anyone else notice that Taylor at this point begins to use a crude type of sign language?
Yeah.
So what we were talking about before, the commonality of language and why didn't he ever try to use sign language to communicate, point at things, anything? Suddenly, now he's open to that idea.
Not only that, So he's writing things down. Why does he even bother sign languaging? Why doesn't he just write
That's
everything
true.
that he needs and make it very clear since they can read English?
This is also kind of the first scene in which he's being taken seriously, though. So
True.
there's a level to which he's suddenly realizing he can communicate, even though he still can't talk.
Mhm.
He can communicate, so he's trying to speed the conversation along. Whatever moves
He's
that
getting
faster,
excited.
writing exactly. So I could see where some crude sign language
Right.
is going to work.
It's almost like a charades moment
Yeah.
when you know that you're real close and you start snapping.
And
That,
I love that the Zero can actually understand what he's saying.
Oh
with
my
these
God.
sign moves, like
He does some weird sign language, and she goes, "Wow, that's many days and many nights."
I know,
and
many
reached
of
the
us, I was
jungle.
like,
how
how
did she get
how
that
did she
out of
figure
him?
that out?
I didn't even grab that one. I
We're,
think
ju- I guess we're jumping a little ahead, so because we got to get the map out first before we get to get that moment, right?
Oh, as soon as Cornelius starts hearing all this translation, he just rolls his eyes. You can hear them just spinning in his skull. He's over it.
and that's great. You do have the crappy love relationship of Cornelius and Zero, where we hear about their engagement and things like this. We know what they want in life, yet they treat each other truly like lovers that have already kind of fallen out of love.
Yeah.
At least that's kind of interesting and makes sense, right?
There's some stuff that happens in the minutes coming up that I feel like really punctuates that.
Mm-hmm.
That is not happening in this particular minute. This is a discovery.
I was being prescient to the rest of the film.
I know,
That's
but
wrong.
this
Yeah.
well, no, but I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff about the relationship that we'll actually think come out
Mhm.
in the dialogue a little bit later on. But initially, right now, all we're dealing with is we're now discovering what the apes know of the world.
True.
Right? We just here's the plane. He discounts the plane, and suddenly Taylor is now getting excited.
Right.
Because he's showing them something. He's giving them something new. You know, here's a plane. I can show flight. I can show you these other things. Do you have any maps? Like, let's see what we're dealing with.
And is this? I didn't even think about this. Is this the only ape colony on this world?
I wondered that before because we really do only see the Simian city, as they called it during production. We only see that. And it is a very small city in
Mhm.
that. But there is the hierarchical system. Did you really build this for just a small,
Yeah, for
select group?
100 people.
But
or
then
whatever.
again, do you ever build a religion thinking it's going to be for millions of people? Because you think of religion the way it was built here in this world. It's created for the immediate people. And then you have to get the word out. So maybe there are other groups out there, and eventually the lawgivers' laws are going to get to them.
So he says, he writes, scribbles on the paper,
Mhm.
do you have any maps? And Zero reads aloud, do you have any maps? So, for whatever reason, Cornelius kind of discounts this paper airplane.
Mhm.
He is interested enough to want to get the map out and not completely just discredit whatever Taylor is
His
saying
stories
or
of
writing
running from
out,
the sky.
unless he thinks that he can by showing a map. Like, let's see how foolish this guy is because he thinks that something greater, this planets exist. So
Right.
let me get a map out.
But
and
once
see if I
again,
can
for a
discover
guy that has maps and has obviously done some exploring about the possibility of a past culture, he is so dismissive because when he gets to the Forbidden Zone, no one can survive the Forbidden Zone. Okay, first off, we have a Forbidden Zone, which immediately is cool. I'm sorry. Forbidden Zone
But why
is cool.
it forbidden?
Yeah, exactly. No one tells me. All I see is a map with a bunch of dashed lines
Yeah.
across it. But why is he so immediately dismissive? Why isn't he going, oh my God, you mean someone survived beyond the Forbidden Zone? That would be the question you would think, because the dogmatic ideas would be he is told that so he doesn't go there.
Mhm.
exactly. Why is it called a Forbidden Zone?
Right.
It's not called
The zone of death.
it's not called the Valley of Death.
Yeah.
Right? It's called the Forbidden Zone. So clearly something has established a barrier for
Right.
ape civilization. So
And they don't really ever name why it's forbidden. They don't say anything. It's just forbidden, correct?
At least in this minute, they don't. Or in the next couple either, yeah.
I'm sorry, you were saying.
there's some assumptions that can be made later on, but initially he's so this version of the script that I was able to find says that it's not a map of the whole planet,
Mhm.
but only that portion known to apes, suggesting that they've only mapped
They haven't ranged so
the
far.
portion of their existence, which is why we get to this area on the eastern side
Right.
that has kind of the lakes and the mountains they traverse through. And then, Cornelius explains in this minute that it's the Forbidden Zone. He says nobody can survive it, but he says it's the Forbidden Zone. And it's
Right.
called a Forbidden Zone, not Valley of Death. everybody dies when you go there.
Mhm.
The
Poisonous
radiation
air.
lands or
Exactly.
something like that.
Right.
The volcanoes that will kill you immediately, or the pits of death.
And, I don't know that you have to, because Forbidden Zone, again, does have that moniker of stay the hell out.
Right.
You
Stay away.
Stay
away.
There's immediate danger to that area.
It's not that you can't go there; it's you're not allowed to go.
Yeah, it's truly forbidden. You may not pass there. Why? Who established this? Why is it there? I think you can get a pretty good idea of who probably created this and why they're keeping them out, even though you've not seen the movie, Sean, but you can at least kind of start leaning towards that. But it is odd to me that he never looks at Taylor as, oh my God, you were there? What did you see?
What was in there? Yeah.
Why? Tell me. I need to know. He is the weirdest. Indiana Jones, at least when he's an archaeologist, goes digging and wants to know. Cornelius is the worst archaeologist.
For somebody who I guess has
I just can't talk about future minutes. I can only stay in this minute and talk about
That's
these
right.
things because it explains so much more of his motivation.
the fact that that Cornelius was being chastised earlier by Zaius about his projects and everything, you'd think he'd want more information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is stunning for an archaeologist who is to be this close-minded to this kind of a discovery.
Right.
So he knows that Taylor came from the Forbidden Area, right? He knows that he crossed these things. We get the kind of charades where you fell in the water, you came ashore, you marched across the desert, the mountains. Many days, many nights, you reach the jungle, which is where they are.
Right.
Which does not look like a jungle to me.
On the map.
No, like where they are right now.
We haven't seen that much of it, though. All we've seen a field.
Okay, and also jungle is a relative term to what they understand jungle is.
True.
So it could simply be cornfields and trees or jungle today.
We've seen, well, for the audience, we've seen the field that they were captured in. We saw a waterway with mountains and trees that they were swimming in with the people.
With skinny dipping.
Humans saw them in.
Right.
Then we saw the pen and kind of the, I wouldn't say operation room, the facility at which
The zoo.
The hack and whack room.
The zoo. We saw their outside area. Now we're in Cornelius's office. But we haven't really seen this.
We kind of saw one shot of Bedrock City that kind of gave us a
we
little
did
bit
see
of
a
look
shot.
at it,
Okay,
yeah.
we did see a shot of the city at this point. Yeah,
And that may even be at some point leading into these minutes when we saw that, but it was recent.
Yeah, it was after they captured Taylor and everybody, when they were bringing him in.
So let me get back to the Forbidden Zone. Just ask this, and you've got the script in front of you. Doesn't Cornelius say no one can survive? I know, I've been there.
So Zero says many days, many nights, and Cornelius just shuts him off. Out of the question. Of course, Zero's upset. Why are you provoking him? And Cornelius says no creature can survive in that part of the Forbidden Zone. I've been there. I've seen it. So
Okay, so he's
Cornelius is now, well, exactly, the archaeologist has been there, and maybe he just realized how bad of a place it is.
and maybe he did observe it from miles away. Maybe he saw just how barren it was. Who knows? And there was no life there, because God knows in the opening minutes of this, we saw that only milkweeds can grow in this desert.
And
So,
also, we were in early minutes. We had a debate about how long they were actually walking, and at this point, they're saying they've been doing many days and many nights.
Yeah, yeah.
And we know that they only had rations for, I think, 3 days. So maybe that when Zaius or Cornelius is saying that nothing can survive out there, he's seen it. He means that because it's so barren, you don't have any supplies out there, and they survived because they did have their rations.
it's not that you can't be in there and survive. It's not so radioactive or anything that kills you. It's that you
no
can't
support
live.
system when you're in there.
You can't sustain life there. Okay, I can buy that.
Maybe that's why.
I do buy that.
And did Taylor just literally, the instant Cornelius started talking about him, walk over to start writing that note?
Oh, how do you account for me?
He gave that to him right after he...
It is such a horrible edit and a horrible beat, because I thought the same thing. I had it here. How does Taylor come over, note in hand? How do you account for me when Cornelius has not even finished the sentence stating with his story that the story is impossible? Here it is. Yeah. Taylor is the smart. He's the biggest asshole and the smartest asshole.
It's much like the airplane, how he had that ready to go too.
True.
Flight doesn't work. Ding.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed, even though